Rick, given that you didn't get to see him play in preseason at all, what have you thought of what Johnny's able to do and how he's working through his first real NBA minutes these last couple games?
Well, we were very convinced that he was going to play hard and be in the right places. He was going to battle defensively. He was going to rebound the ball and run. And so, look, his minutes were solid, and they were needed in the New York game, and he's got to be ready tomorrow.
What was Obi able to do today? Do you think he'll have a chance to have him back tomorrow?
He's doing better. He'll likely be listed as questionable, and we'll know more tomorrow.
You complimented Quenton a lot in terms of how he's played. Obviously, you had him on some great defensive assignments the last 2 games. Just what all stood out to you about what he's been able to do? What do you like about him, throwing him on a guy like Brunson?
I mean, I like guys that play hard, and that just throw everything out there. And he's got great energy. He's tough. He's a terrific competitor. And he helped us. He helped us in the last 2 games. He helped us in Charlotte in the Knicks game. He was another guy to run around, guard Brunson, and tomorrow he's got to be ready. He could end up guarding any one of 3 or 4 of their better players.
In a game like Sunday when you
Go ahead, Jeremiah. You're good.
In a game like Sunday when you had so many injuries, how important, especially at this time in the season, is it though to make sure that your starters don't overdo their minutes? And do you think that contributed to the way they finished on Friday or in the fourth quarter?
Well, Myles played 38 or 39 minutes. That's a lot for him. So I'm not sure.
Compared to the Knicks, I guess.
I'm not sure we curtailed it. Well, but we were matching his minutes with Towns, so
yeah.
There was really no other way around that. But look, I watch minutes pretty vigilantly and try not to go crazy with it. But this is why depth is important right now. And the guys that are two ways, and Johnny Furphy, and these guys got to be ready to come in and do a job, and do a simple job, and do it hard and do it well.
Watching minutes so vigilantly, as you say, is that from data studies? Is that because you have so much depth? Why specifically do you feel like that's so important?
It just is. Just how I do it. If you overdo minutes, you bring other risk factors into play. There's a wear down effect, physical, mental. It's just the way I see it. I mean, guys do play significant minutes. I mean, there's guys that average over 30. But anytime you go beyond that, you're talking about guys playing additional minutes at full capacity fatigue, and that's tough. That's when other bad things can happen.
You asked about Johnny and Quenton. I know we've talked a lot about Enrique's energy and everything you talked about that. I mean, just what stood out to you as far as just the growth you've seen from him in the couple of games that he's had to get minutes?
Well, he's unafraid. He goes in with energy and enthusiasm, and he plays to his job. He does his role. He doesn't step outside of it. And he's the kind of guy that really loves to be part of a team and contributing any way that he can.
Outstanding final 6 minutes. What do you think the key was?
Yeah, no, I think for us that game, obviously, it was our defense. I mean, I think that we did a good job of obviously hitting shots. I mean, I think we got hot from 3. But the biggest thing us was our combined effort on defense, man. We can hold, guys like Brunson, Towns, the better players to their numbers, especially in that late. It's going to do bode well for the rest of the team.
You played a lot of minutes. I think you were matching Towns' minutes, but is that just conditioning, being ready for days in situations like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that given our situation, I got to be ready for anything, and just stepping up and taking the charge. I'm not complaining. It's what I train for, get my body ready for. So just roll with the punches and do what I need to do.
People have been talking about Tyrese kind of waiting him for have that breakout game. Was that it?
I think consistency is going to be key for Ty. I think that he's capable of having those games night in, night out, but he just has to go out there and do it. And I think that his mindset has shifted. I think he's trying to get fouled more. He's been more vocal. He's obviously hitting shots, but I think everything's going to be a mindset thing for him. You're not going to make him, make or miss. It's a make or miss league. You're not going to make shots every night, but as long as your mindset's sharp, you're going to be fine.
You guys have talked a lot always about just how talented Ben is, but also trying to make him fit basically with what you guys do, how fast the ball moves. He did a lot of catch and shoot and a lot of quick decisions. I mean, was was that game a lot of just kind of vision what you guys had and what were you sort of hoping for?
I think Ben is a special player because I think you can kind of just fit him into any situation, and he's going to be himself. You know, and I think that's what his biggest attribute, his biggest strength is. You know, when it comes to the system, it's a matter of moving the ball, making quick decisions, and whatnot. But at times, you just need a bucket. You know, as someone who's dependable, and I think he's proven that. So I think it's just a matter of Ben being himself.
When him and Tyrese are both playing like that, you still were able to score. But how did you go about finding your spots or being able to, get to the shots that you want in a game like that?
Again, make or miss. I think I've done a good job of getting shots lately. Just haven't been making as much as I like, but that wasn't the case on Sunday. So if I can keep repeating performances like that, I'll be fine. Just pick and choose my spots.
Enrique was talking about watching you to study some of the stuff you do for himself when he's out there. What have you seen and kind of told him about how he's done so far through 10 games?
The biggest thing I told him is that your energy is just contagious. It's infectious. When you go out there, you can make it for a lot of stuff, make it for a lot of ground. Just by simply talking, just by simply being active, moving the way he does. So he's someone I like. I really like the way I saw him in summer league. And I knew right away he'd be able to make an impact. But similar to myself in rookie year, you just never know when your number's gonna be called. And he's someone who's been able to go out here and play early. So his trial by fire is just good for him. And I think it's someone's gonna help us down the line. Just got to go out there and just get through it. There's no better teacher than experience, and like I say, he's getting that early.
You mentioned just the situation you guys were in. Obviously, Enrique's had to play, Quenton's had to play, Johnny's had to play a little bit. What's the impression about how those guys have handled, like you said, being thrown into the fire and having to take on some tough situations too, especially taking on guys like Brunson? How do you think they've just done what stood out to you about how they've handled the challenge?
Yeah, someone like Quenton, man. I feel like he's just someone. He says it all the time. It's TTG. He's trained to go. I think that he's been. He's shown that's his training camp. We've thrown him in a million different scenarios, and he's never complained once. And I think he's done an amazing job handling it. Even last year, at certain times he would get into games and mixed up a little bit. So he's someone who's very talented, and someone I think he's trying to make his way in this league. And I think he's got off to a good start. So Furphy's someone who's got to get out there. Once he finally gets his touches, gets his experience, things will go well for him. But he's long, he defends, he's 6'8", can shoot the ball. I think he's gonna be just fine.
Might not get it. I talked to you before Friday, but the first in-season tournament NBA Cup game is Friday. Looking back at last year, how big was that entire experience, and maybe did it exceed your expectations you had going into it?
I didn't know what to expect from it. Yeah, I think it truly was something that was special for the fans. Even the courts and just the way we were able to go to Vegas and have as much success as we did. And I thought it was dope. Just hoping to repeat on that success this season, and whatever happens, throw the ball up, and go out there and hoop.
You talked. I got one more. You and Rick obviously talked last week about just the importance of you trying to go get 10 rebounds, and obviously you've been at or close to that number since. What goes into that focus? Is it just as simple as I got to decide to go get the ball more, or is there anything just that changes in the way that you look at the game when you're just kind of looking at that as a number that's necessary?
At the end of the day, rebound is mentality. I think you got to go out there and just get it done. There's some times where I feel like I go out and I take out the biggest guys, someone else gets the rebound, and times where I go out there and it's right there and I take it. So, it's not really like a numbers thing for me. If I have 10 rebounds in my head, I go out there and get 10 rebounds, that's cool. But I'm trying to get people, wipe people off the board, or just trying to get the possession of the ball. So maybe I personally have to do a better job of just going to go secure the ball. But at the end of the day, my job is to neutralize the biggest target out there. So yeah.
Back to Sunday, being a contributor in such a high-profile, high-energy game, what were your thoughts on that experience?
Obviously super happy with what I was able to do, but just excited, just happy I can impact winning. That's been my goal here, so whatever they need me to do for our team and whatever we got to do to win, and especially for that game. It's a big rivalry game in New York, so it felt good.
There's been different games where you never know, but now with the injuries that this team is dealing with, what's your preparation like? Pre-game, how focused are you once this game starts?
Yeah, my preparation has never changed, even when I'm not, they don't call my name, or when they call my name, I got to stay ready for both. So keeping the same preparation that I've had every game and just being ready to impact winning on both ends of the floor.
Myles specifically, what has he done or told you and helped you in this process?
Oh, definitely just how to rebound, where to be at on the ball screen coverage, just seeing things, how fast the pace the game is, and him helping me out and giving me a piece of advice on ball screen, where to be at on defense, how to make the offense flow better. He's so good at it. So just listen to him and his advice in that term has helped me when I get out there and limit my mistakes, as a rookie. So it makes me look good. So.
What are you learning game to game? Basically, obviously, you said you try to bring the same energy and everything.
Yeah.
You obviously got to be finding stuff out in terms of what works, what doesn't. what people can burn you on? Just what have you picked up with these appearances?
Yeah, well, I mean, with each game, obviously for me, I think the game is slowing down a little bit more, getting more reps at it. And then second, I think that, each team is so unique in their skill set and their matchups, and just knowing what to do for each team. I think for New York, it's high, being up to touch on the ball screen is big because they have great guards. Or knowing when to set the screen, when to roll out the screen early. So just those small details in each game, I think I'm just getting better at.
Talked about some of the stuff a little bit, but for rookies, sometimes when they're out there, it can be a lot of thinking about what they're doing versus just playing. How have you kind of struck that balance so far? Do you feel like you're getting through the thinking too much phase?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just reps, number one, and I just think as a player, I watch a lot of film. I try to ask the coaches to watch some extra film, so that has helped me with the overthinking and just being able to make those 0.5 decisions when you get the ball or when you're on defense. So I would say film for sure.
You watch it yourself, or do you watch other guys, see what they're doing and try to?
Myself, other guys, or like you said, watching Myles, see what he does, Pascal, Walker's been a good leader to me, so everyone, yeah.
You would hear from anybody at Akron during this run against Quenton?
Oh yeah. I hear from them every day. Yeah.
When you talk about just watching film, what have you liked about what you've done so far? And what are some things you looked at and said, man, that's got to be better? What's
Just
self-evaluation?
I say for me, last game there was a few possessions where I'm just running, moving a little too fast. For me as a rookie, I think everybody's moving so fast, so I'm moving as fast as everything else. So taking those little moments in a possession or defense to just slow down, and goes back to me saying just making a smarter read or just limiting mistakes.
Can I ask you about Benedict's block and defensive stance?
Yeah, you can. I think Ben showed tremendous effort on that block and his defensive stand. He's been making a better effort this year to play on both sides of the ball. So I think, overall in the beginning of the season, he's been doing well.
For you to make contributions in such a big, high-profile game, what did that mean to you on Sunday?
I don't know. I kind of just take it day by day. I pat myself on the back when I can, but at the end of the day, there's more work to be done. We as a team still need to grow. We still got more work to do. So, you celebrate the little wins, but, we get right back to it.
Rick said this morning on the radio he singled you out for the energy that you'll bring, knowing whenever you get to the court, you'll bring a lot of that. Is that something you've always kind of hung your hat on?
Yeah, I kind of just pride myself on it, just being hungry, just every time I step on the court, making sure that I take advantage of every opportunity put in front of me. I think that's just kind of how I've grown up. So it's not anything I have to force myself to do. It's more just kind of like instilled in me.
What you been waiting for chances like these last couple of games, and to that end, how have you kind of prepped or thought about before games what you want to do when you do get these chances?
Well, I mean, I've been kind of just thinking for a long time. This is my third year. Been on a couple different two-ways, so this is kind of a test that I've seen before. So it's not really necessarily new to me, but I mean, just going in there and being aggressive. For me, it's just like I don't really worry too much about the offensive end. I just want to impact the game and impact winning. So if that means I need to be playing defense and fighting over screens and doing all the little stuff, then that's what I'm going to do.
You did the ball so much with the Mad Ends last year. Now you're kind of on and off playing with TJ or other guys. Is that unique to you, or do you feel like you've kind of been ready to go in both roles there?
I've been ready to go in both roles. Throughout my career, I've kind of had to play every position in every role, so I think that alone has kind of prepared me for this right here. So me not having the ball in my hand is not really that big of a deal. Like I said, I just want to impact winning, however that is.
The last two games you've had to take on big-time defensive assignments when you've been out there when you were guarding Jalen. On Sunday, I know you're doing LaMelo a little bit. On Friday, whatever that was now. Just what do you think you've done well in those assignments? Basically, what's it been like to prepare for those? I guess especially on Friday against Charlotte, you even have a sense that can happen considering the late scratch. What do you think you've done well, and what's it been like to just jump in on those assignments?
I ain't gonna lie, it's been pretty cool to jump in on those assignments. Kind of just watching these guys play for a while, you kind of get to know the names. But at the end of the day, when I step on the floor, I don't see none of that. You got to go at me just like I got to go at you. So at the end of the day, I just want to sit down, I want to guard, I want to be a dog. And whoever my matchup is, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to do what I can to shut it down.
Thank you.
I have one more real quick. Like, who else have you guarded before that? I mean, when you've been called up before in previous teams and stuff like that, had you had assignments like that in previous games? And what have you learned?
Yeah, I've had assignments like that before. We played a lot of good teams. I think when I was in Washington is when I played my most games. We played against Houston a couple times. We played against a bunch of other good teams. And I don't know, I just got a different energy about me when I step on the floor. When I'm in settings like this, I'm pretty goofy, but when it's time to go, it's time to go. So I don't do no messing around when I get on the floor, and that's just kind of the attitude I carry out there.
Appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir.